Galbrena is finally here in the first phase of version 2.7, and if you're a fan of the Devil May Cry or Bayonetta franchise, you're gonna have a blast with her gameplay because her playstyle feels like Dante and Bayonetta had a baby. In terms of team building, there are so many to choose from, so she's not bricked without Qiuyuan. If it's your first time here, welcome to Galbrena's character breakdown video, which belongs to the character breakdown series where we build and test your favorite resonators to provide you with the most effective ways to use them in Wuthering Waves. Before we proceed any further, I want you guys to keep in mind that every footage used in this video was captured on a media server, so some things may be subject to change upon official release. The pinned comment will be updated to clarify anything in the future, so without further ado, let's get right into it.
Fury boils, burn to ashes. Let's
Speak of the devil. I've come to send you to your grave.
fresh face.
Explode.
To hell with you.
Fight fire with fire.
Fury boils, burn.
Galbrena's playstyle or forte circuit. Galbrena has two types of forte stacks that you need to fill up before you start doing damage. We have the red stacks right here on the left, and we have the blue stacks right here on the right. The red stacks will only fill up if Galbrena or her teammates use an echo skill, and you need to cast 5 echo skills in total to fully fill the red forte stacks. So Cantarella will be one of her best teammates. A full red stacks will grant Galbrena 60% damage bonus applied to all her attacks except her liberation. Now that we know how to fill the red stacks, let's move on to the blue stacks. You can fill it by pressing the normal skill where she leaps and attack the enemy in midair. Midair attacks where you can hold your basic attack button after the skill to rain fire on the enemy, consuming stamina, but you'll mostly be using the ground basic attacks, which has 4 stages. You will need to spam the full sequence of the ground basic attacks 2 times to fully fill the blue stacks, as you can see right here. When the blue forte gauge is full, simply press the enhanced skill and you enter the demon hypostasis mode or simply her forte circuit mode. In this mode, she can perform 5 basic attacks. The first stage up to the 3rd stage, as you can see right here, are considered as heavy attack damage, and the 4th stage up to the 5th stage are considered as echo skill damage. If you press basic attack after stage 5, she'll start from stage 3 where her wings pop out, as you guys can see right here. Now, if you look closely at this part of the footage, you can see that she has another gauge below the red and blue forte gauge. This is called the burning drive gauge that gives her 20% attack for 4 seconds, and you can activate it by using an intro skill, pressing any kind of skill, the 4th basic attack where her forte circuit mode is activated, and finally by using her special dashes. How the special dash or the Hell Stride works is that you can activate it by pressing dash right after attacking the enemy with basic attacks. It'll deal a small amount of damage and allow you to continue the basic attack sequence without any restart. The special dashes will be the easiest way to refresh the 20% attack buff, so be sure to keep that in mind. It'll also be very useful in the rotation section of this video. One last indicator that we need to cover is this alphabet under the enemy's health bar. When the alphabet is S, as you can see right here, it means that all the damage output from Galbrena will be amplified by 20% for 5.5 seconds, and you can stack it and refresh it by doing any kind of damage. More information on how to stack it up quickly before doing damage will be available in the rotation section of this video. Resonance Liberation. Casting the liberation, considered as echo skill damage, does big damage and adds an 85% bonus damage multiplier or scaling to all of Galbrena's damage sources only when she's in the demon hypostasis mode or the forte circuit mode. I'll tie everything together in the rotation section of this video, but for now, let's cover her build. The 5-star weapon priorities will be based on this sheet right here, which is basically a record of my runs in the Echoing Tower. If you cannot afford her signature weapon, go for Carlotta's weapon as the first priority, mainly as a crit damage static. The second priority will be Static Mist, which has a crit rate substat and is easily available since it's a standard weapon. Third priority will be Chikona's signature weapon as a crit rate static, but you don't really need the excess crit rate since her Echo set provides 20% crit rate. If you don't have a 5-star weapon, you can use a 4-star weapon as a placeholder until you can get your hands on a 5-star weapon. For 4 stars, first recommendation will be Solar Flame due to the crit rate substat, attack percentage, and heavy attack damage bonus that it provides. But since it's locked behind a paywall, you can use Relativistic Jet as your 4-star placeholder until you can get your hands on a 5-star weapon. For her echoes, you should be running the 3-piece Flame Wing Shadow and any 2-piece set that can give you fusion damage bonus like Molten Rift or Flaming Clawprint. You should be running the 4-3-3-1-1 formation. The focus will be the Reminiscence Thronodian Leviathan, which can be obtained from the new Fleur-de-Lis weekly boss. The main stat will be crit rate if you're running her signature weapon, Colorless Weapon, or Relativistic Jet, but it will be crit damage if you're running Chacona's signature weapon or the Solar Flame from the Battle Pass. The 3 cost will be double fusion damage bonus since her damage is split between heavy attack and echo skill damage. The 1 cost will be attack percentage as usual. Keep in mind that your main echo will be Chorosaurus, or the blue dinosaur. Substats priority will be crit rate, crit damage, and heavy attack damage bonus. Talent priority will be Fortress Circuit, Liberation, normal attacks, skill, and intro skill. Team building. Her best teammates at the moment will be Showkeeper and Mortefi. Galbrena will not be able to get full red stacks in this team, but Mortefi's short field time and Showkeeper's superior buffing capabilities should give you the best clear times. Second team will be Cantarella on Rejuvenating Glow and Lupa. You can replace Lupa with Brand or Chun-Li. The fusion hybrids are here mainly because of the 20% fusion damage amplification that they can provide from their outro skills for Galbrena, but do keep in mind that Lupa will be the best alternative since she provides fusion damage bonus, fusion resistance shred, and attack buffs for Galbrena. Third team will be Cantarella on Rejuvenating Glow, Mortefi or Yuno, and Galbrena. Mortefi and Yuno are here to provide heavy attack damage amplification for Galbrena. And the best part is that this team is not highly dependent on Showkeeper since the crit rates that we can get from the Flamewing Shadow Sonata effect helps Galbrena get decent crit ratio. Fourth team will be Cantarella, Frollover, and Galbrena. Galbrena is here mainly because of Frollover's outro skill that amplifies heavy attack damage by 25%, but do keep in mind that Galbrena's personal damage will be low because she only benefits from the heavy attack damage amplification from Frollover's outro skill, but the 20% havoc damage amplification will be quite useless. Rotations. I'll be covering the Verena, Mortefi, and Galbrena team composition since it's easily accessible to everyone, and Galbrena's specific rotation while she's on the field will stay the same for any of the teammates that I mentioned in the team building section. Here's the build that I'll be running for all teammates. A lot of you guys still keep asking why the substats on my echoes are the same whenever I make a video with a media server, so let me clarify once again that it's intentionally made this way for testing purposes.
Who gets the bullet? That's your call.
Our hunt never stops.
We first start with Verena's Liberation and skill. Swap to Galbrena and spam basic attacks until it's completed and use your Echo skill. This will allow her to regenerate about half of the blue Forte stacks. Swap to Mortefi and spam basic attacks until it's completed and use his skill, but I had to dodge here, which messed things up a little bit. However, the main goal here is to use Mortefi's Forte skill before you intro to him from Verena or any of your universal buffers like Showkeeper. Go back to Verena and spam basic attacks until you have 2 Forte stacks, Echo skill, jump, spam basic attacks, and intro with Mortefi. Use his Liberation and any of his skills in cases of cooldown to fully fill his concerto energy, Echo skill, and intro with Galbrena. This part is very important, so pay close attention. After the intro skill, spam basic attacks until you reach the 3rd stage where it looks like she's breakdancing. Once you see that animation, dash towards the enemy to do damage, which will now transform the text under the enemy's health bar to the letter A, indicating that she has 15% damage amplification from her passive, and then end it with the 5th basic attack. Now you can see here that on top of Galbrena's health bar, we have the heavy attack damage amplification and the echo skill damage amplification from her weapon, because of the first to third normal basic attacks that scales off heavy attack damage, and the fourth basic attack that deals echo skill damage. Now use her elaboration, which will now transform the alphabet to S, indicating that she now has 20% damage amplification in total. Keep in mind that the elaboration damage will benefit from the final 20% damage amplification. Now you should have full forte stacks, so use your skill and spam basic attacks until the stacks are depleted. One cool tip is that you can prolong the third basic attack animation to escape damage while in midair if the incoming damage is telegraphed to hit the ground, as you can see right here. When her forte stacks are depleted, simply spam basic attacks until you complete the fourth stage, intro with Mortefi since Verena does not need the intro skill for concerto energy, and then rinse repeat. Do keep in mind that you would have intro to Shopkeeper after Galbrena is done doing damage to trigger the special intro skill if she's replaced with Verena. Sequences. The best early sequence will be S1, which can provide up to 80% crit damage in the Forte Circuit mode or the Demon Hypostasis mode if the red stacks were full. This can increase your damage quite significantly, but do keep in mind that if you plan to get S1, you have to replace Verena or Showkeeper with Cantarella and slap the Rejuvenating Glow Echo set on her since she can heal. The reason why S1 limits her to Cantarella or Qiuyuan is because you need full red stacks to get the 80% crit damage. S1 also provides anti-interruption when using the last stage of her basic attacks or basic attack stage 5 in the Forte Circuit mode or the Demon Hypostasis mode, which is a huge quality of life change. The rest of the sequences will be per your own personal preference. That'll be all for Galbrena's character breakdown. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to help support the channel because it's free and you can always change your mind. Our Discord link will be in the pinned comment if you're having any issues with the game or just want a place to chill or hang out. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.